Hey, coach, I'll just finish this. They are accused of taking bribes from unnamed sports bettors in the Dominican Republic to throw certain pitches and help those bettors win at least $460,000. Both pitchers pleading not guilty. Okay, coach, I think you can hear us. Let's start with the CFL because that's what we know going into the 112th Grey Cup this Sunday. Riders favorite. Are you going along with that?
Yes, I would favor the Riders. I think that their defense, the home field thing changes. I mean, when we played in 2022 in Saskatchewan, when we played Winnipeg, there was a whole lot of people cheering for the Argos wearing green. And I can assure you it's going to be hard for Bomber fans to cheer for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So the home field kind of gets, I mean, that advantage kind of gets shifted a bit in that it'll be split for the Grey Cup game. I love Saskatchewan's defense. Their offensive line with Tate in there now is very dominant. The Montreal quarterback, he hasn't lost. You have to. I've never seen a quarterback who behaves the way he does on the field. That in terms of some of the things. I mean, I've had Flutie and Calvillo and Ricky Ray and Tracy Ham and some of the greatest that have played, and nobody has ever antagonized the other team the way this quarterback does. But he's had success. He played in 38% of their games and won them all and has not lost the playoffs. So you have to account for that. But he's already got an injury. And again, he's shown the ability to not stay healthy. I think that's a big question mark. And against this team, he's going to have to move in the pocket some. I mean, this secondary is different. When they played them and beat them pretty big, Montreal beat them pretty bad. They were playing corners that, had never played corner. And it's going to be a totally different defense he sees this time. And I like Saskatchewan in the game, and I think it's going to be close. Montreal has experience. Montreal won it as early as 2 years ago in a game nobody thought they had a chance to win. In the Cody effect, will this guy have the Davis Alexander effect? I don't know. We're going to find out. So again, it comes down to I think these are the two most physical teams in the league. I think that the Montreal offensive line, they should get Lestage back. They could be okay up front offensively. Defensively, Mustafa Johnson's still a question mark. I think that defensive front of Saskatchewan, they Baldonado's limping around. When Shane Ray was in there, that thing was nails. They got a little bit of a problem on the one edge now. But I just like their overall defense, and I think Corey Mace has his team mentally in the exact right place you want. Jason Moss has been there, done it. What a great game. It's going to be a great football game.
For the American viewer, well, there'll be millions are going to be watching in Canada, potentially millions in the States. 6 p.m. Eastern, Saskatchewan versus Montreal in the Grey Cup in Winnipeg. CBS Sports Network will have it in the States. The young quarterback for the Montreal Alouettes, I think he's 28, is 13-0 from Gig Harbor, Washington. Davis Alexander has never lost. And they're going up against the Saskatchewan Roughriders and their 39-year-old quarterback, Trevor Harris, who has never won a Grey Cup, from Waldo, Ohio, and they do have the best defense in the Canadian Football League. But here's another one. All the pundits have picked Saskatchewan. I'm sure you've seen it. Sask. And they're the betting favorites. Would that worry you if you were their head coach, Corey? Everybody's expecting you to win. What does that do to your mind in a championship game?
You know what? It really doesn't do anything. I was with Hamilton Tiger Cats in 2019. We went into Calgary, heavy favorite. I don't even know that we felt like a favorite. I mean, you're at the Grey Cup, and you got so many things going on that are so cool that you've never seen before. You come out for the game, it's so different than a normal game. The weather's going to be cold, but not horrible. It's going to be a pretty nice night in Winnipeg, it sounds like. And just the difference in the game, I didn't even know until after the game that we were, because I never look at the odds and things like that. So again, I don't think that's going to affect Saskatchewan at all. They're not going to go in there feeling overconfident. again, this is a team that won it 2 years ago. Saskatchewan hasn't won it in a while, and again, I think Corey Mace is too good of a coach to allow those kind of things to be a factor. So I look at it, the nuts and bolts, man. Who's better in the lines? Who's got the most, defense that can physically make them, I heard Micah Bumekrick talked about the unders because defense always does play a factor in the game. But ultimately, both teams have players that have played in this game and understand what goes into it. So I think you take the team that you think has the better players. And right now, I look at that as being Saskatchewan. I don't, and the quarterback factor of he's 13-0, 4 and he played in 38% of the games this year. Yeah, they won all of those, and he won 2 in the playoffs. But he's not healthy again. And what's it going to take for that hamstring to act up? One, running away from Micah Johnson, and he's done. Now they're going to McLeod. Now, McLeod I wouldn't mind having him as my backup quarterback in a Grey Cup game because that guy has been there, done that. It's not going to bother him. It's not going to be too big for him. So, again, I think they do have that to fall back on. But, again, the rest of it, I just think Saskatchewan's a better football team all the way around. And we'll find out.
Yeah, well, you've won 5 of these championships, plus the XFL and various other ones. Like, it's not always about the best team. It's one day. It's not a best of 7 series. And the thing is, you and I have been doing this long enough now. We were together, sitting beside each other at the Grey Cup in Vancouver last year, talking about all these exact same things. And what's fun about it is, because I've been to several Grey Cups and been part of them, it's not just another game. Like, the distractions are really off the charts.
Mm-hmm. There's no question distractions are an issue. Again, Mace has lived it as recently as a couple of years ago. Jason Moss has lived it with this team a couple of years ago. Danny Machocha, the GM, has dealt with this stuff. So I don't worry about that being a factor. I mean, the distractions, I think they will be able to keep their team in place, but and focus. But I just think that the better football team is the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And it comes down to that's what it ended up coming down to in BC. I mean, I thought the BC Lions, they played a gallant game. But ultimately, in the end, that last drive, Trevor Harris, those are kind of career-defining drives. Everybody remembers the one when Cody hit the goalpost in the final. Well, people will now from Saskatchewan can remember the Tommy Neal catch, or whether it was first down, and Amar Doman thinks it was not a catch, and people can say what they want. Bottom line, it was a catch, and they will be able to remember Trevor Harris's pass to win that Eastern final and send them to the Grey Cup. So that's what this time of the year is about: memories and creating those great moments. And again, it's exciting for the players. I'm excited to watch it unfold and watch how it unfolds because, it will be different than every other game that's been played all year.
Before we switch to the NFL, I should ask you if you were following the Commissioner's State of the League news conference Friday morning. It's a highlight of the year for fans of the Canadian Football League. Stuart Johnston basically reiterating the changes coming, field size changes, goalposts moving, but they will never move off 3 downs. There's some business stuff in there, and ratings are up marginally, revenue's up marginally. Everything's up. Everything's great, Jim. What was your takeaway from what you followed?
It's like the presidential speech after he's elected. It's all good, and that's fine. I mean, I didn't hear any of it. It doesn't affect me. I mean, I just wasn't paying attention. So I'm sure he came up and he's well spoken. That's kind of what he does well. So I'm sure it was good. And talking about the rule changes, there's a lot of fans that are this year happen to be a little uptight about it. I think let it go for a few years and see what happens. I mean, next year nothing's really happening. There's a few minor things, but see what happens. And I when they brought the hash marks in, I thought, wow, is that going to change the game? And it surely did. I mean, scoring. You can create situations for more scoring all you want. At what point is enough enough? They've had more scoring in the CFL this year than any in history. Do they want to do things to create? Do they want to become the Arena League? Do they want 70-68? Do they want, 82-74? I mean, they can do that by just keep making the field smaller. And so, the owners control the direction the league goes because the owners control the commissioner. And I can tell you this, they all want their franchise values to raise, and viewership does that. And that's what they've got to create. Now, if they think that 70-68 creates it, they'll make more rules to improve scoring. If it's about expansion, then so be it. We'll find that out in a few years. I'm with you. Believe nothing you hear. And,
You heard that.
but that's kind of the way, I mean, I listened to your show today and heard that it's a done deal that Mike O'Shea is going to Toronto. And unequivocally, I can tell you that he hadn't decided yet. He didn't know what he's going to do. I mean, that's a tough decision for, you have two. Can we talk about that for a second? About
Sure.
what he's going through is you have the Al Davis theory. Al Davis believed 10 years and you need to move on. And he did it with John Madden, one of the great coaches in NFL history. 10 years, done. Replaced by Tom Flores. 10 years, done. He just believed that was your length. As coaches, you kind of can feel it. Paul Maurice left the Winnipeg Jets mid-season, goes down to Florida, wins back-to-back Stanley Cups, and was quoted as saying, I knew it was better for somebody else's message to come into this locker room. Nobody knows that better than Mike O'Shea. So you have all the things to take into effect. Do I want to, do I want to go to a new place and create a culture and create the same kind of thing I did here? A team that's won 2 out of the 3 last Grey Cups. How are you really creating? Again, or do I want to go back and reinvigorate myself by recreating that culture? Because it wasn't the same for Winnipeg this year. I just don't believe they were the same. So he's got all those things that he's going through. And I can tell you that he has not made a decision. I mean, as of an hour ago. So anything about he's made a decision is wrong. I can tell you that. Now, what's he going to do? I can't tell you that. I have no idea. All I can tell you is that this is a very difficult decision, and have the respect for the man. He's earned the right to have this decision on his plate. And again, it's great when fans say, "Well, no, it's a done deal. He's going here, or he's going there," and that, I guess they can do that. But I can tell you that this is one that he'll gruel over because he does love Winnipeg.
Of course.
All right, down to the NFL.
Well, we only got a couple minutes, but yeah, what do you got?
I don't know. What do you want?
May or Vrabel?
How
Who
about
gets the credit in New
Patriots?
England? Yeah.
Let's start with the Patriots last night. Okay. The Bills better be aware because they're playing a team that's now 9-2 and they're 6-3. This team has beaten them at home already. Okay. This team has got a quarterback that is now second in what people, in the speculation about being the most valuable player in the NFL. Jonathan Taylor's up there. But Drake May is making a statement that I'm going to be the most valuable player. That team is believing. They're playing like the old Patriots used to. So I think the Bills, they've got a huge game this week. They've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, tough team, tough game to win. I believe they're on the road. So, I think that's a fun thing to watch is the New England Patriots. Who's responsible for it? It's a combination. They get Drake May last year, so they have the guy they thought Mac Jones would be, who it wasn't, and they now have that guy, that new Tom Brady. Josh McDaniels is still there with him. I think he deserves a ton of credit. A guy who is in his perfect job. I mean, he doesn't need to go anywhere else. Just stay where you're at and continue doing what you're doing. And Mike Vrabel obviously has brought back the Patriot way. And you watch as the years start to come forward, they'll sign free agents that maybe are problem children elsewhere, and they'll go there and have no problem. So the Patriots are a great study. I think that game last night spoke volumes.
They're going to kick us. We're going to kick us off. Thanks, Jim. Enjoy the game Sunday. We got it all. And appreciate that. And thanks for hanging in off the start. We'll be right back with the Moose and a sports update right after this. Silver State Sports Entertainment Network and Game Plus.